Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Battle Brothers Season 3. As today, we've got our formation set, we've got our more vulnerable members pulled, reluctantly including Valen, since he's more or less helpless if he gets stuck in close combat. And we've got the abandoned village locked in our sights. A foray into the unknown, and full disclosure, one of the main things that actually spurred me into doing Season 3 in the first place. I've been kicking around the idea of doing another season for a while, but the new content drop, the one that added the abandoned village, and I think one other legendary location, is what finally actually spurred me to do it. I will also say, I have seen pictures of the new enemies. I have not actually fought them. So I'm not entirely sure what we're getting ourselves into. I may end up regretting this, but we're here, so obviously we're going to give it a shot. That said, let's give this place a look. A recently destroyed village with no bodies. Only a breeze swirls through, kicking up ash and hissing it through the ruins. But there survives one element, an enormous stone statue masterfully sculpted in the image of a man. Or at least, you think it is a man. Its face has been removed with a sort of accuracy that suggests careful intention and not mere vandalism. Suddenly, mud-squelching footsteps approach from all corners. Bulbous silhouettes limp into the light. Slouching hunchbacks formed of most dishonest stitching, torsos haphazardly sewn together with organs vaguely gated behind strands of flesh, additional arms attached with hands wiggling wildly from all sides, and atop the puttied horrors grown multiple heads, like some fleshen totem that knows itself. The maws slackened open and the gargling at the realized horrors, eyes aplenty and eyes agog, staring at you and the ground and at each other. Your men gasp and arm themselves. The monsters growl and start picking tools and weapons off the ground. One monster reaches down and picks up 2 cleavers. It trundles forward and faces smeared across its skin turn their misshapen gaze upon you, and their mouths open and yell, their shrieks sucking in and out from one mouth to the next, air howling through their internal chambers as the faces take turns breathing so that another may scream. You've still a chance to run. It is unlikely that these things can keep pace with any man. But what would you be leaving behind, aside from your dignity and pride? Oh, I like the way that was written. I will say though, surprised they're leading with the flesh golems. Really would have figured they'd save that for the second location. Start with something a bit more mundane, then lead into the weird. But either way, to those who are about to die, etc., etc. Oh yeah, and you can even see it is actively dual wielding. You've got a pick and a cleaver. Not sure how that'll manifest. An extra attack, perhaps? Maybe something akin to the juiced up, like the Necromancer enhanced Wiedergangers. I mean, given that they are in fact called golems, I have to imagine they're probably pretty tough and strong. Oh, hi there. Fault Finder. Well, I'm not sure what your deal is, but I know a caster when I see one. We've also got some other fast guys in the initiative queue. Could be the golems? Doesn't... Guess we'll find out soon enough. Alright, let's see if we can get lucky. Bowman steps up, arrow knocked, taking aim. And the shot flies true. Arrow piercing the strange cultist's throat. One hand grasping at his pulsing, bleeding wound, the other gesturing frantically with his dagger as he directs his mace-shapen minions towards the raiders' line. The raiders respond in kind, moving up to meet these brutish beasts. Or at least their front line does. The back line holds for the time being. We know this guy's probably a caster, we just don't know what he actually does. In fact, let's make sure we spread out a bit. That'll both keep us safer if there are in fact AoEs in the mix, but also, hopefully, draw his guards off to one side. Then we can have someone dart in on the other and finish him off. Assuming, of course, Arrow can't do it himself. I suppose our other big concern here is whether we're Oh. Okay, you know what? Scratch that. Our more immediate big concern is that we appear to be surrounded. I wish they had made that clearer in the story segment. Okay, we're already on the move forward, so let's focus this group down first, then we'll worry about the guys on our back. Though, my other concern that I was about to voice is that we're clearly into some body horror shenaniganery here. So I do worry that these things might reform or reanimate in some way. Oh, apparently they have tentacles. Oh, is that what the... No, we have extra casters. Okay. Right. Okay, so we're not just surrounded. We have casters from multiple angles. Which is, I guess, all the more reason to finish this one so we can start shifting focus. Yeah, I was about to, well, maybe it... No, the tentacles do appear to be a spell. So the casters have a forced move ability with seemingly unlimited range. They're pretty far out. My immediate thought was that it was actually the flesh golem with its tongue sticking out. Or flesh golems, plural, but no, the timing and combat log seem to imply otherwise. Alright, Arrow, it's all you. Come on, bud. Nice. A second neatly grouped shot lands, just a handspan below the first, this time piercing the Fault Finder's chest and sending him weltering to the ground. And yet two more still chant in their strange, twisted tongues. And the press of ungodly flesh still comes in from every side. Yeah, we have to be very careful about placement for our less combat-capable characters. Oh, interesting. Okay. Huh. They actively pulled Zarmal out of combat. Perhaps perceiving him as a greater threat? Or is there perhaps a reason they want him on top of that dead Fault Finder? Oh gosh. Alright, hold on, Rev. We got you. Hold on, Rev. We've maybe got you. Ooh. Hello there. I hate that. Gotta push these guys off. Rev. A surging strike of his shield, and Diego drives one of the amorphous abominations back. Rev lopping the limb off another, but it has plenty more to spare. The Raiders form a second line on their southwest, ready to receive another throng of things that should not be. Zarmal rushes back in, a bit perturbed, but still combat ready. Tommy splits a face, then winces as several others all fix their gaze upon him simultaneously. Except for One Eye, which is looking at the tree behind him. Arrow hesitates, realizing it's perhaps best not to rush forward too quickly. Oh, maybe they can only project tentacles from sources of flesh? Annie brutally batters the abomination before them. Bones crack, organs burst. The brutish thing has numerous redundancies, but those are swiftly running low. Rassel clubs a multi-faced skull. Setris shatters a shoulder socket. Tommy finds himself assailed. Rev stunned beside him. Berlin as well. Yikes. No, not stunned. Just dazed. Which is still bad, but not as bad. And the first beast falls, impaled upon the company banner. Its bulbous bulk sagging to the ground. Oof, Rev's already exhausted. Yeah, I think that's the other insidious angle on these guys. It's not just that they can hit you up to 3 times. It's that even if they miss, they're still churning through your fatigue. So that, I guess, is the trap on this one. Like every legendary location tends to... Oh, he blew up the corpse. Okay, well, that is also a game changer. Alright, well, thankfully the damage itself seems to be pretty tame. Relatively speaking, 30 damage. The miasma, the cloud of miasma, however, is a bit more of an issue. The raiders reel as the bulbous body at their feet suddenly bulges and balloons, bursting into a cloud of caustic blood and razor-sharp bone shards. Oh, and you know what? That might be why they keep trying to pull Zarmal back onto that dead fault finder. We need to distance ourselves from the bodies. Control where they fall and then get away as quickly as possible. Setris shatters a sutured skull. Bits of brain and bone shards dribbling from the hole. But the beast fights on unabated, arms flailing and pinwailing about, dashing at Drakiith and Random both. Another beast lashes at Annie with its tongue. The heavy, corded, muscular appendage, battering like a prehensile club. Probably best not to think about that too much, but also these things are gross regardless, so, you know. Zarmal impales a cluster of hearts. Verlin kicks his way out of a cloud of foul vapors. Rev slashes through a gummy, multi-corded neck. The ceaseless shrieking taking on a nauseating, gurgling edge. Spying an opening, Rook sprints towards a second caster. While the rest of the raiders remain behind, hacking and slashing away at the things. The foul fiends these cultists have created. I wish the camera focused more on exactly what's happening. Okay. Yeah, it takes me a second to parse what happened, since, you know, a lot of this stuff that's happening right now is stuff that does not normally happen. So it's not like an intuitive, immediate understanding. Diego kicks the last beast away, then stumbles out of a stinking cloud. Wrestle, smashing the creature's skull in, driving it to the dirt at a safe distance. Another fiend moves to intercept Rook. And he crushes a hand, then pauses, gasping for breath. But Rook finds his way to the second Fault Finder. Company banner poised and ready. Random takes a few stumbling steps behind him, trying to keep the rest of the beasts occupied. Off his back. And other raiders rally to Annie's side. Bowman holds at center, waiting for someone to secure a path. Rev tears out another multi-piped throat. The wheeze like a deflating bagpipe, filtering from within. A third body bursts, sending Drakiith stumbling. Thankfully, his armor took the brunt. He quickly pushes through the gas, eyes squinting against the stinging substance as he seeks his next target. Nice. Rook ducks a clumsy cleaver strike, then responds in kind, pike piercing the second Fault Finder. Arrow lays down fire, trying to stymie a beast's advance. Tommy joining him a second later. Cetrus moves to partially intercept, to hopefully... Yes, nice. He draws the beast off, away from the range support. Oh, snap. And Annie continues taking a vicious tongue lashing, this time somehow losing her weapon. One of the prehensile proboscis tearing it from startled grasp. Yeah, see, like Verlin sucking wind now too. Those 3 attacks, they don't land a lot, but even when they miss, they still wear you out quick. So that is definitely an insidious aspect of these otherwise, I think, largely manageable beasts. Like, they have surprised me a few times with unusual or unexpected abilities, but... Who is that? Oh, I see. Annie punches a beast in the face, fist sinking deep into sodden flesh. It topples, giving time to swiftly reclaim a briefly stolen weapon, but then bursts, sending the raiders reeling, peppering them with all manner of awful Tommy gashes a belly. Half-rotted organs and blackish bile spill out in sickening strands. Cetrus smashes a face, wincing as shards of teeth audibly plink against the edge of his helm. Oh, shoot. Drax, fatigued. Let's push this one out. Sorry, Diego. Just hang tight for a sec. Rasselfell's the final flesh golem on the north, freeing up Rev and some of the other raiders to rush the third fault finder. We need to get these guys engaged. It seems like they can't cast once they're base to base. Though in retrospect, I realize I could have just had him hit the fault finder anyway. He was still within range. Oh, they're pulling. Okay, yeah, they're trying to pull people back into the bodies so that they can then make them. Yeah, that seems about right. Tommy cuts down another beast, shouting for the nearby raiders to get clear. Drakiith staggers, exhausted, bruised, and bloody from the ceaseless torrent of strikes. Random flails away at the near formless fiend from behind. A few of the other raiders falter, undecided on where to go. I think we need priority on Drak. He's actually hurting. We've got to get him clear. Whilst Diego and Revenant deal with this guy. Right, shoot. Dang. I need to stab the fault finder. By reflex, I keep clicking the guy right on top of Rook, but that's not who he should be focused on. But it's fine. We've almost got this done. In fact, gosh dang it. A body bursts at Drakiith's back, sending him staggering forward. One arm hangs limp at his side, shoulder peppered with bloody fragments of someone else's bones. Sigmar strikes down the last beast upon him, then grabs his arm, trying to pull him away from the fray. And stumble away he does, thankfully, well clear of any of the myriad horrors or hazards dotting the landscape. And the rest of the raiders rush in, locking down the last two casters. Rev lops off the third caster's hand. Verlin drops the final beast on the south and staggers away, gasping for breath. Rook ignores the fleshy foe tearing at him, turning and planting his pike through the second caster's foot. Other raiders move in, grabbing and stabbing at the beast on his back. The Fault Finder's grim and gloating facades slowly turn towards panic as they find themselves steadily overwhelmed. Their creations not but awful refuse scattered across the scenery. Could have moved arrow a bit more decisively, but, you know, I'm wary. We have so many hazards out here. I'm trying not to overlook anything, but my goodness. There is a lot going on. Rev tears down the third caster. And Rook finally fells the second. A single Grizzly Golem remains. But the raiders are quick to fall upon it, hacking and slashing, tearing it back to disparate bits. You know, as far as legendary fights go, this actually wasn't that bad, relatively speaking. Honestly, it was interesting. We had a close call with Drak, obviously, but, you know, as we figured out what was going on, it became a lot easier to manage. I mean, honestly, even Drak's injury we could have probably avoided if I'd gone into that knowing what these guys could do in advance. A lot of our bumps and bruises kind of stemmed from just having to feel things out as we went. And we got a new brew. The Potion of Change. This vile concoction, distilled from the remains of a flesh golem, promises to cure joint pain, grow muscle mass, and even sharpen vision. Results not guaranteed. Gain a random positive trait. Ooh. Well, that's fun. Also, a single set of occult robes. 75 durability, 7 fatigue. I feel like that's not super impressive. Like, not even for nimble characters. But it is a fun, unique item, so I guess we'll hold on to it. Might make a good fashion statement, if nothing else. And marble busts. 1,200 gold worth of what I'm assuming are treasure items. Not bad. You stand over one of the things you just fought. Arrow curls a blade underneath the goop and holds it up. A great mop of flesh elongates in stitched segments, arms spindling out like they were the branches of a tree, fat chunks sliding down the appendages like sap. The rest are incongruencies, left and right. Here a foot hanging from a torso like a door handle, there a face, spreading apart as if melting into a river of sinews and ligaments. When your sellsword lets it slide off his blade, the flesh bag slops into the ground, the bones rattling like a collapsing rope ladder. Diego walks up with a quiver of arrows and a small book. Got this quiver of, interesting arrows. Looks like some sort of reservoir, and the bottom of it is for dipping the arrowheads. The old gods know what that material is. I also found this here book tethered to one of their heads. Seems important. Opening the book, you find lists of villages with lines crossing them out one by one. And besides each is a simple number. 50, 60, 70. At the back of the book, you find a map to another location, which appears to be some sort of estate. Also, we got Bloodletter's Reach. Is that that's either a quiver or a bolt case. And there's our second new location. The Artifact Reliquary. A collapsed ruin from days long past. The occasional flicker of torchlight betrays the presence of current inhabitants, as do the strange sounds emanating from deep within. Pretty creepy. Also, that feels like it's not too far off where we've already been. Yeah, that's just south of Westerhall's, where we just bought that quality lumber like 1 or 2 episodes back. Oh man, that is tempting. I don't know if we can handle it though, and also I guess we have the crisis going on. We really probably should focus on that. I'll think on that, but for now let's just do the usual rounds of damage control. Drak on the bench. Might toss him another potion. I'll have to take stock. And we've got 3 level ups. Starting with Rook, who gets Recover. And then also grabs... Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Melee defense, and Resolve. Diego also pulled a level up. One sec, let me just... Shuffle. Level 7, that's Nimble. Immediately makes Diego a whole lot more viable as a shieldman. Sadly, the stage that McLeod never quite got to. Still flubbing those offense rolls, but we'll take the +3 defense. And also, I guess... You know what, we'll go with 2 shieldman secondaries. Morale and health. That gets him past the target 60-point threshold. And then our 3rd level up is actually just Verlin, who I'm still debating on. Realistically, I should probably grab Indomitable. That's a good one to have for a shieldman, but there is a part of me that kind of wants to go Fearsome Spearmaster. Anyway, crisis or not, I do want to do another pass out here. We still need 3 orc locations to clear our current ambition. But we also do need to clear some space in our cart, so let's hit Eyes and Grab real quick. We'll lighten our load, restock on supplies, and then push back out. And it would seem we're in the right place. They are suffering from marauding greenskins. Local prices are pretty middle of the road, a bit high on supplies, but that's fine. Oh, right, we have this too. Bloodletter's Reach. This strange quiver holds mundane arrows and is meant to be used with bows of all kinds. At the bottom is some sort of mechanism that releases a strange material from a hidden reservoir, coating arrowheads and causing them to inflict particularly grievous serrations. Investigation reveals no obvious explanation to the coating's source, or a way to extract it without disassembling the quiver entirely. It is automatically refilled after each battle if you have enough ammunition. Causes bleeding. Okay. I mean, the downside is that it's only a 10-arrow quiver as opposed to our current extended 14. But 10 stacks of potential bleeding damage would, I think, more than offset the loss of 4 total arrows. That's a fun get. Alright, give me a sec. Let me take care of the rest of the bookkeeping real quick. And we're back. Slightly restocked. Space freed up, though perhaps not quite as much as we might have liked. But, you know, that couldn't really be helped. There's not much reason to sell our high-ticket items in this particular town. But we can at least free up a couple more slots by finally downing a few more potions. At least for Drak and Rax. Starting with one that is, I think, very on brand for our resident Flagellant, the Potion of the Night Stalker. 25% life drain when striking blooded foes. I mean, obviously not the best person to give it to. Someone like Rax could definitely get better use out of it, but again, very on brand, and that's kind of what I'm doing with these things. Parasitic Blood. This character's body has the incredible ability to incorporate different blood types, or indeed, blood from entirely different creatures, into itself. This grants them remarkable healing via absorption of blood through skin pores, or more dramatically, by drinking it directly. And that's it for Drak. We're not going deeper than 2 draughts for any single raider. And whilst Rax might have certainly enjoyed having parasitic blood, he will instead have to make do with a slight bump to offense instead. Via the Dead Man's Drink, which will make his already impressive axe ever so slightly deadlier. Kinetic Coating. This character is able to secrete a substance that vibrates rapidly when stimulated. When applied to weapons, this creates a strong kinetic force that aids in armor penetration. Sure, why not? I mean, I feel like you could have just gone full supernatural there and made him like a half ghost or something, but I guess vibrating fingers is also cool. And then as for the rest of these guys, none of them are laid up long enough to be worth dosing. Though I really do need to give Rev something at some point. Poor guy's our only OG anatomist, who has yet to be mutated. He'll probably get the zombie potion. Oh, it's an explorer contract for the ramshackle hiding place in the drylands, which are west? Yeah, we'll take that. I mean, we're already headed out there anyway. Might as well get paid for it. I would risk the noble contract. That one must be our orc contract, but those are a mite bit too unpredictable. We're explicitly looking at just carving this chunk of fog. That contract could easily end up sending us all the way to the opposite side of the map. That said, let's tap the mountain here. That'll give us a good bird's eye. Okay, clear. Over here next. What did we just spot? Huh. Not sure what set that off. Hey, here we go. You come across the once caravan hand, Cetrus, finicking with a company wagon. He's nailing a slat of board to the bed and using pins to put it on a roller. The board can then drop down into the belly of the wagon with a little bit of a pull and switch. Rather ingenious. This will allow you to load more onto the wagon. Fantastic. Oh wow, which got us a whopping 9 extra inventory slots. That is more than I expected. Though, actually, I guess that would be exactly 5% of our base 180. I wonder if it's a static or a percentile-based boost. I'll have to double check that. Oh, and look at that. Skull Smasher's Grotto. A definite orc location. Oh, occupied by orc berserkers. We have yet to face those. Definitely more dangerous than young, but not as dangerous as orc warriors, so let's form up accordingly. Minimal armor, so we don't really need bashers. Yeah, I think that's good. Scouting the mountains near Eisengrab in search of the ramshackle hiding place. The raiders soon spy a place that might match that description, though upon closer inspection, it simply appears to be yet another orc war camp. As they approach, however, the green-skinned fiends gathered around a barrel of some vile brew look up, twisting into leering grins. Barely given pause by the opening salvo of crossbow bolts, the orcs eagerly grab up great big crudely carved blades. And the raiders can sense that there is something possibly different about these particular green-skinned fiends than the ones they have thus far faced. The thunk of Valen's axes slows one down slightly more. Diego rushes in, shield raised high, ready to receive their attacks. To advance with massive weighted chains. Trip darting in, coming in below the cumbersome weapons, jabbing at ribs. Mark firing a second later, gouging across its scalp, finally making it falter. Tommy tears into one as well. Val coming in from the side, driving his spear deep. And a panic flail from Random catches it upside the head. But the rest of its brethren are undeterred, storming forward with big, brutish battle axes. Trip juke south, pushing past Random. Blade glancing off his foe's ribcage cuirass. Val buries an axe in a berserker's throat. Ooh. But it's not enough to daunt it from nearly severing Malafnoy's arm. The crossbowmen both bolt south. The final foe engages. Diego takes one out. Rev defaces another. Val moves in. The axe-wielding orc panicking as it finds itself flanked. Buying Rook time to pierce its heart with his pike. Mal and Sigmar finish a panicked foe. Random another. The fight tilts in the Raiders' favor, but the danger is far from past. Though, Val does put it one step closer. Another orc falling, axe buried in its chest. Before gashing another as well. Though that does not slow it down. If anything, it makes it angrier. Diego savaged by massive blows from its makeshift machete. And Rev puts it down. The fight was quick, but also very bloody. Shame we couldn't get those arteries bandaged before the fight actually ended, but, I mean, you know, we did what we had to. Oh, 2 more people on the sideline, but hey, new potion banked. As well as our first few berserker weapons. Rose Filter. Developed from the adrenal glands of so-called orc berserkers, this concoction is so named for the heightened emotional state and reddened hue of whoever drinks it. Gain stacks of rage upon taking damage. Ooh, okay. I mean, that does feel like it's best paired with one of our more vulnerable brothers. Annie or Random both spring to mind. It'll probably come down to whichever one ends up sidelined first. Speaking of which, Malafnoy and Diego benched. Sigmar certainly not ready for the corner position, but we've got to make do. And level up for Trip. It's level 8, which... Which does give him access to Duelist, but I feel like that's not the one I'm supposed to give him right now. He's our first dagger guy hitting level 8, but... Shoot, I don't have anything in my notes on that. What am I... Okay, I'll double check that off screen. For now, we'll just do up his stats. Oh, and look at that. Fantastic rolls. We'll take the melee, we'll take the defense, and we will take... Morale? Range defense? I mean, I guess both could be useful for a duelist. Yeah, we'll push the dagger duelist a bit higher than normal. Either 15 or 20. Honestly, even Rax could probably benefit from that. The biggest detriment of losing the shield is, of course, making them more of an arrow magnet. Though less of an issue, I suppose, for someone like Rax, since, of course, he'll also eventually have Battleforged. Though that's still a bit of a ways off. That said, I feel like this is a good place to call it. Only 2 fights, but I feel like a very eventful episode nonetheless. We took down our first legendary location, encountered 3 new foes, picked up 2 new potions, and got ourselves a unique item, plus the card expansion and a number of other more mundane upgrades. That said, we'll hit the pause button for now. I'll take stock of our current condition, figure out what we're doing with these perks, and we will pick up here next time. Who knows what other horrors await us in these hills. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Erie V23, Revenant, Alois, Arrow Bowman, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.